Tonight, as you prepare to close your eyes and drift into that most sacred chamber of creation, the inner world of your imagination, I want you to remember this. Your word is power, and the words you speak just before you sleep, especially when spoken with feeling, belief, and knowing, they do not fall into silence. They echo in the realm of consciousness and return to you as your lived experience. You are not merely a body, nor a mind filled with memories and desires. You are imagination itself, the operant power. All things begin and end within you. Every fortune, every miracle, every transformation, it all originates in your awareness of being. You must never underestimate the power of a simple phrase spoken in faith, in stillness, in the sacred moment before sleep. Say this: I am wealthy now. I am rich beyond measure. Everything I touch prospers. I give thanks, for it is already mine. And as you say it, feel it. Don't just speak the words mechanically. Let them rise from the depths of your being. Let them paint images in your mind of a life of ease, abundance, and divine fulfillment. There is no outer force bestowing riches upon you. There is no external authority choosing who shall be rich and who shall remain in lack. It is your assumption, your inner claim, that determines what the mirror of life reflects back to you. What you assume to be true of yourself, you become. Sleep, you see, is not just a biological necessity. It is a mystical doorway. It is the time when the conscious mind releases its grip, and the subconscious, the seat of all creation, becomes receptive. Whatever thought, emotion, or belief you offer in this quiet passage before sleep is received and planted in the fertile soil of the subconscious. And what is planted there must grow. It must express. It must manifest. So again, I say, choose your final thoughts of the day as carefully as a master gardener selects seeds for spring. If you want to wake up rich, not only in material wealth but in joy, clarity, freedom, and power, then say these words before you sleep, and mean them. I am already wealthy. I am aligned with the infinite supply of the universe. All I desire flows to me now. Your imagination, not your bank account, not your surroundings, not your job, is the key to your fortune. When you assume the state of wealth, when you feel yourself already in possession of what you desire, then you are occupying the only real cause in your world, and the world must respond. Most people live in reaction. They see their current situation and affirm it again and again, saying, I am broke. I don't know how to pay the bills. Money is hard to come by. And so they recreate the same pattern, night after night, thought after thought, unaware that they are sowing seeds of poverty in the rich soil of their subconscious mind. But you now know better. You now understand the law, that you must not declare what you see, but what you wish to see. You must not affirm what is, but what will be, as if it already is. You must not surrender to appearances, but to your vision, to your faith. Feel the truth of these words as you lie in bed. Money comes to me easily and frequently. Wealth is my natural state. I am rich in every sense of the word. Let these phrases become your lullaby. Let them be the soft whisper you carry into the dream world. And watch how, day by day, your outer world rearranges itself to reflect your inner transformation. Now let us go deeper. There is a moment, just before you fall asleep, when the veil between the conscious and subconscious grows thin. In that moment, whatever you impress upon yourself is taken as truth. There is no argument, no resistance, no logic that blocks it. It is as if the gate to heaven is wide open, and you are invited in. In this golden moment, say it again. I am rich. I am blessed. I am a magnet for miracles and money. And don't just say it. Feel it. Imagine what it means to wake up and have every need met. Imagine opening your bank account and seeing numbers that make you smile. Imagine yourself giving freely, helping others, building a life of meaning and impact, because you have more than enough. This is not fantasy. This is not make-believe. This is the secret Jesus spoke of when he said, when you pray, believe that you have received it, and it shall be yours. Not believe that it might come, but believe it is already done, already yours, already present. All things, whether dollars or dreams, begin in imagination. This is the realm of causation. The outer world is only an echo of the inner. So if you would change the echo, change the original sound, change your self-talk, change the inner voice that you take with you to sleep. You may ask, how long must I say it before I see results? And I say to you, how long would you persist in watering a seed before expecting it to sprout? As long as it takes, as long as it is necessary. Not in doubt or desperation, but in joyful expectancy, in the knowing that the seed has already taken root. When you speak these words before sleep, do not look for instant proof in the morning. That is like digging up a seed to see if it's growing. Trust the law, trust the process, trust your imagination, and above all, trust that your desire was not born to torment you, but to be fulfilled. Say this before you sleep. I now step into a new reality, a reality where I am rich, secure, generous, and powerful. This is who I am, and let the feeling of wealth rise within you, like a gentle tide. Let it wash away fear, doubt, limitation. Let it fill you with peace, with satisfaction, with certainty. For it is the feeling that is the secret, not the words alone, but the feeling of the wish fulfilled. This is the creative force. So lie there still and quiet, and pretend. No, assume that all is already done, that you have already received the life you longed for. Not someday, now. Can you see it? Can you feel it? Then it is already yours. And if the outer world has not yet caught up, be patient. Your assumption is carving new paths in consciousness. The unseen gears of the universe are turning. People, events, and circumstances are aligning. You do not need to know how it will happen, only that it must happen. For you have claimed it in the only place that matters, your imagination. Say it now, silently or aloud. Thank you, universe, for my wealth. Thank you for my abundance. Thank you for showing me who I really am, a child of the infinite, a creator, a magnet for riches. Fall asleep with this gratitude in your heart, and you will awaken in a world transformed. Do not be concerned if the world around you still shows signs of lack. That is simply the momentum of previous assumptions playing out. But you have changed direction. You have shifted timelines. You have chosen a new identity, and that identity will soon eclipse the old. There is nothing to struggle for, nothing to chase. Just rest in the assumption of wealth. Dwell in the end. Live as though your dream is real, and it will become real. For all things in this world are states of consciousness, and you move through them not by force, but by belief. Let the words you speak before sleep become your declaration of arrival. Let them carry the vibration of someone who has already received. And as you fall asleep, fall into that state. See yourself rich and free. Hear the sounds of celebration, the laughter, the ease, the joy. Touch the fabric of your dreams. Smell the scent of success. Taste the fruits of your faith. This is how worlds are born. What you say before sleep with feeling becomes your waking reality. So once again, say it with me now and every night. I am rich. I am wealthy. I am abundant. I am grateful. Let this become your new bedtime ritual, a holy act, a sacred command to the subconscious that this is the life you now claim. Not someday, not maybe. Now, you are no longer asking. You are no longer hoping. You are being, and what you are, the world must reflect. You do not beg the universe. You direct it. You do not plead. You assume, for you are not separate from the source of all. You are that source in expression, God in motion, imagination awake. So I leave you with this charge. Tonight before you sleep, enter that sacred chamber of silence. Withdraw from the noise of the day. Turn inward. Speak with conviction. I am rich now, and feel it, believe it, know it, and then rest. You have planted the seed, and by the law of consciousness you shall wake up rich, not only in money, but in spirit, in opportunity, in ease. You will begin to notice shifts, so subtle, yet undeniable. The phone call that leads to a new job, the chance encounter that becomes a partnership, the idea that turns into income, the clarity that lifts a long-held fog. This is not coincidence. It is causation. It is law. It is your inner world expressing itself in time and space. And yet do not make the mistake of running back to the world to check if it's working. Do not uproot the seed with doubt. Do not scan your circumstances in search of evidence. That is not your role. Your role is simple: to dwell in the end, to walk by faith, to live as though it's already true. What happens when you truly believe you are rich? You walk differently. You speak differently. You expect more. You stop tolerating less. You exude a frequency that calls wealth to you like iron to a magnet. This is not arrogance. It is alignment. As you repeat these words each night, you are not just affirming a new reality. You are becoming it. Identity precedes experience. You must be the one who is already rich in consciousness. Before you will see the riches show up in form, you must feel it now. And what you feel consistently becomes flesh. In the beginning the words may feel foreign. The feeling may feel faint, but persist. Repeat. Speak until your subconscious can no longer deny it. Until it accepts the new script. Until it forgets the old story of lack. Until it breathes wealth as its natural rhythm. You are not trying to get rich. You are remembering that you are already one with the source of all wealth. You are not chasing success. You are claiming what has always been yours, denied only by forgetfulness. Do not fall asleep in worry, in stress, in anxiety. Those are prayers too, and they are answered just as surely. Fall asleep in assurance, in thanksgiving, in expectancy. Say, I am so grateful that I no longer have to strive. My wealth is inevitable. It is done. Do not be tempted to think this is too simple, too easy. That is the trap of the world, to make the profound seem insignificant. But the truth is eternal and uncomplicated. What you assume and persist in becomes your life. The simplicity of the law is its brilliance. You do not need to manipulate events, beg others, or prove yourself. You simply need to assume and feel that your desire is already a fact. Even as you sleep, the universe is responding to your inner state. Even in dreams, your consciousness is active, constructing scenes, shifting outcomes, bending probabilities. The dream world is not separate from this one. It is a preview, a rehearsal, a creative workshop. And when you go to sleep filled with the feeling of wealth, you carry that frequency into realms that precede the physical. You may not know the mechanics, nor do you need to. The how belongs to the law. Your only responsibility is to imagine richly, to assume boldly, to feel the end with conviction. Let your last thought at night be of abundance, not lack. Let your last words be of gratitude, not fear. Let your final image be one of fulfillment, not frustration. And you will plant yourself in a reality where money flows, ideas flourish, and opportunities multiply. Say it tonight. Say it every night. I am rich. I am wealthy. I am free. And then let go. Sleep like the rich. Rest like the blessed. And rise like the one who already has it all. Rest like the blessed. And rise like the one who already has it all. Because when you truly believe you are rich, when it is no longer a wish, but a knowing, then wealth must find you. It must appear in ways both ordinary and extraordinary. You become the embodiment of your assumption. You radiate a frequency that makes you irresistible to prosperity. You no longer hope. You know. And that knowing shifts everything. You walk into the world no longer asking, how will it come? But declaring, it is done. That confidence becomes a magnet. That inner stillness, that unshakable calm, becomes the evidence of your wealth before it is seen. And soon, it must be seen. The world bends to the one who refuses to doubt. The universe yields to the one who assumes from the end. And the dreamer who dares to say, I am rich. As he drifts off to sleep, he is the one who awakens to miracles. Let others say it's not realistic. Let others insist on effort and struggle and toil. You, however, have found the secret. You have discovered that creation is finished, that all states already exist, and that you need only occupy the state of wealth within, and the world will rearrange itself accordingly. So tonight, and every night hereafter, say with your whole heart, I am rich now, I am the operant power. I live in luxury, ease, and freedom. Everything I desire is already mine. Let these words be your passport into a new reality. Not someday now, not if, but when. And the when is determined by the moment you fully assume the feeling of wealth as your truth. Even if the world shows you lack, stay faithful to your inner claim. Even if the evidence is slow to appear, know that delay is not denial. Remain loyal to your vision. Persist in the assumption. Let no outer fact persuade you otherwise. Your wealth is within, and it is from within that all things flow. You do not chase money, you attract it. You do not work for abundance, you embody it. You do not wait to be rich. You wake up as the one who already is, because last night, before sleep, you entered the state, claimed it, felt it, believed it. So what more is there to do? Nothing. Only to rest, to feel, and to persist in your assumption. Say it now, say it as your last thought tonight. Say it until the words become truth in your bones. I am rich. It is done. As those words echo into the silence of your subconscious, know that something unseen has shifted. A new path has opened, a new script has been accepted by the divine playwright within you. You are no longer trying to become, you have already become. The seed has been sown, and in time, the harvest must come. It is law. It is certain. You are now walking a different timeline, one where money flows to you effortlessly, one where wealth surrounds you like air, abundant, invisible, always present. You have turned from the world of shadows and appearances to the inner light of truth, and in that light, you no longer beg for what you want. You be what you want. This is the essence of all true manifestation. Not effort, not struggle, not force, but assumption. The inner conviction that what you desire is already yours, even before the senses agree. And it is this conviction that brings the outer into alignment with the inner. Tonight, when you say these words again, feel as if they are the last thing you ever need to say about money. Feel as if they have already rewritten your story. You are not repeating them to make something happen. You are repeating them because something has happened. Something within you has awakened. Now you rest in that knowing. You no longer rush. You no longer doubt. You no longer look to others to validate your vision. You go to sleep each night in quiet power, and you wake each day in the vibration of wealth. You smile for no reason. You feel safe without evidence. You are grounded in the truth that wealth is not a destination, it is a state of being, and that state is yours. Now, do not speak of lack again. Do not entertain thoughts of limitation. Do not tell stories of what you do not have. Those were the thoughts of the old you, the one who had not yet remembered who they are. But now you know, you are not a victim of circumstance. You are the creator of circumstance. You are the voice behind the command. And what you say in the silence of night becomes the echo of your days. So speak powerfully. Let your last whisper before sleep be filled with certainty. I am the source of wealth. I am the key. I am one with the infinite supply of the universe. And let yourself fall asleep smiling, knowing that what you have claimed in imagination is already making its way into form. This is not magic. This is not luck. This is not wishful thinking. This is the immutable law of assumption. This is the sacred art of creation. And you, beloved one, are its master. You, beloved one, are its master. And as the master, you no longer question your power. You express it. You no longer wait for signs. You are the sign. You no longer seek permission. You give yourself permission to be, do, and have all that you desire. The words you speak before you sleep are not merely affirmations. They are declarations, decrees, commands issued from the throne of consciousness itself. When you say, I am rich, you are not just imagining money in your hands. You are entering a new identity. You are stepping into a version of yourself who thinks richly, feels richly, walks and talks richly. And when you enter that identity sincerely, faithfully, and consistently, your world will shape itself around you accordingly. That is the law. Do not fear delay. Do not be swayed by appearances. Do not be discouraged by time. These are illusions that dissolve in the presence of assumption. The only truth you need is the one you choose to accept. And if you accept wealth, abundance, and prosperity as your divine right, then nothing can withhold it from you. Life will always meet you at the level of your inner speech. It listens carefully to the tone, the feeling, the images you carry before you sleep. You are always impressing something upon your subconscious, whether consciously or unconsciously. So tonight, be deliberate, be intentional, be sovereign. Whisper into the silence. I am rich beyond belief. I sleep in wealth. I wake in wealth. I live in wealth. I am wealth. Let this be the new rhythm of your mind. Let it become your lullaby. Let it replace every inner dialogue of lack, of fear, of doubt. There is no need to repeat the old stories of hardship. There is no reward in reliving limitation. That version of you is gone. Now you enter the kingdom within, and you claim your inheritance. You walk through the door of imagination, and you sit at the table of the wealthy, not because you earned it by the sweat of your brow, but because you remembered who you are, a creator, a chooser, a dreamer whose dreams are law. So as your eyes grow heavy, and the world of form begins to fade, hold fast to the unseen vision. Trust the feeling, trust the word, trust the silence, and above all trust that your assumption, your simple sacred declaration, will not return void. The riches you feel in sleep become the riches you hold in waking life. The state you dwell in within becomes the world you inhabit without. So say it again. Not with effort, but with joy. I am rich, I am wealthy, I am free. It is done. And sleep, not as one who waits, but as one who knows. Sleep, not as one who wonders if their words have power, but as one who commands with certainty. You are not repeating these phrases out of habit. You are embedding them into the fabric of your being. They are becoming your identity, your reality, your truth. Because the truth is, you are already rich. There is no separation between you and the wealth you seek, except the false belief that you must do something more to deserve it. You are not becoming rich. You are remembering that you always were. You are not waiting for money to appear. You are aligning with the state of wealth where it already exists. As you lie in bed, understand this. Your imagination is not playing games. It is not fantasy. It is creation itself. And as you feel the thrill of wealth, the freedom of abundance, the joy of giving generously, you are doing the one thing that matters, assuming the end. And when you assume the end in feeling, it must harden into fact. It is not your job to figure out the how. It is not your burden to chase or strive or stress. The how will show itself. The path will unfold. The bridge of incidents will appear. But all of this begins and ends with the simple truth you dare to accept before sleep. I am rich. Let that phrase become your spiritual password, your emotional compass, your mental fortress. No matter what your bank account says, no matter what the world tells you, no matter how long you've believed otherwise, say it anyway, feel it anyway, believe it anyway, because in the quiet stillness before sleep, you are closest to the power that creates worlds. In that delicate twilight between waking and dreaming, you are not just a person lying in bed. You are a god in meditation, a soul in creation, a master of reality whispering a new world into existence. That world is one of riches. That world is filled with freedom, luxury, joy, and limitless opportunity. That world is already yours. If you'll only dare to claim it with the words you speak, and the feeling you carry into sleep. So tonight, do not drift off in anxiety. Do not worry about tomorrow. Do not rehearse the past. Instead, surrender to the reality you wish to create. Speak the language of wealth. Breathe in the feeling of abundance. Fall asleep in the state of the wish fulfilled. And when morning comes, walk in the consciousness that what you declared is already on its way to you. Say it one final time before your eyes close. I am rich. I am the source. I am one with infinite abundance. Thank you, thank you. It is done. Sleep and rise anew. For each night you enter the silence with this conviction. Each night you dare to speak as though it is already so. You rewrite your destiny. You are not just shifting thoughts. You are shifting worlds. You are not merely affirming a better life. You are giving birth to it within. And what is born within must be born without. This is the divine rhythm. Imagine, assume, feel, and allow. The outer world is but clay in the hands of your inner state. Your words, when saturated with belief, become the blueprint. Your feelings are the builders, and your faith is the foundation. So why wait? Why wish? When you can claim. Why dream? When you can embody. The moment you accept wealth in your inner world, you summon it into your outer one. Let others toil. Let others doubt. Let others chase. You will simply assume and receive. Tonight and every night you walk yourself into a new state, not by effort, but by surrendering to the feeling of it being already done. The state of the wish fulfilled, the richness already felt, the money already possessed, the freedom already lived. This is not about ego or greed. It is about alignment, harmony, truth. For what is wealth but the reflection of an abundant state of mind? Say it one last time. As sleep takes you, I am wealth, I am abundance, I am tomorrow. Let the world show you what happens when you speak the truth before sleep, because life is not responding to your effort.
It is responding to your assumption. It is echoing your belief. It is mirroring your state of being. The wealth that appears on the outside is not the cause of your inner conviction. It is the effect. Your consciousness is the root. Your reality is the fruit. So when you say night after night, I am rich, you are not casting wishes into the void. You are instructing the universe. You are issuing a decree that must be fulfilled, and you are doing it at the most potent time. The threshold of sleep, where the conscious and subconscious touch, where impressions go deepest, where the law moves with the least resistance, and the more persistently you return to this state, the state of already having, already being, already living the life of wealth, the sooner the outer world must reflect it. The delay, if there is one, is only in your wavering. But you, being wise now, will no longer waver. You will no longer say, I hope. You will no longer say, maybe one day. You will only say, I am.
As you fall asleep in that holy assumption, you dissolve the chains of your past beliefs. You sever the ties to the version of you that once doubted. You awaken the true self, the rich self, the abundant self, the creative self, the self that needs only to assume and allow. So lie back, close your eyes. Let the silence of night become the womb of creation, and let your final whisper be the voice of a creator. I am rich, I am free, I am all that I desire to be, and it is done. And in that quiet declaration, you cross the final threshold. You step beyond hoping, beyond waiting, beyond needing, into being, into the state where desire and fulfillment merge, where the wish no longer feels distant but present, where the imagined becomes real, not because of proof, but because of faith, because you dare to feel its truth before the senses confirmed it. You fall asleep, not as the seeker, but as the one who has found. You enter the sacred space of rest, not as one striving for change, but as one surrendering to what already is. You no longer beg the universe. You no longer plead with God. You are the operant power. You speak, and it is so. This is the secret the world forgets, that we do not get what we want. We get what we are. And you, who now lies in the stillness of night, speaking wealth into being, feeling it real, are now becoming the embodiment of prosperity itself. And so life must reflect that change. Opportunities must arise. Doors must open. People must appear. Circumstances must rearrange. The world has no choice but to conform to your inner state. It is obedient to the one who assumes with feeling, with faith, and with persistence. Each night, as your head touches the pillow, know that you are entering the sacred forge where reality is shaped, not by force, but by frequency. Not by wishing, but by assuming. And the more you assume your wealth with gratitude, with confidence, with deep inner knowing, the faster the world delivers it. Not because it's being created, but because it was already yours. And now, you've remembered. So tonight, do not go to sleep empty. Go to sleep full. Full of feeling, full of faith, full of truth. The truth that your wealth, your success, your abundance, it's not on its way. It's already here. It's already yours. It's already done. Feel it, speak it, rest in it. And as you sleep in the state of the wish fulfilled, prepare to awaken in a world that finally reflects who you truly are. A master of imagination, a being of infinite power, a magnet to miracles, a soul who simply said before sleep, I am rich. And as those final words echo into the infinite silence of your being, you drift not into unconsciousness, but into the sacred workshop of the divine, your imagination. You are no longer falling asleep as someone hoping for change. You are falling asleep as the very cause of change. Your breath slows, your body softens, but your consciousness, your true self, expands. It moves in realms unseen, setting into motion all that is necessary to bring your inner conviction to pass. You are no longer reacting to life, you are initiating it. No effort is needed now, no striving, no worry, just surrender. Surrender to the assumption that it is already done, that you are already wealthy, that the world has already received your command and is now fulfilling it with mathematical precision. The how is not your concern. The when is not your burden. Your only work is to remain faithful to the state, faithful in thought, faithful in feeling, faithful in silence, faithful in sleep, Because the moment you stop measuring by the senses and start knowing by assumption, the outer begins to reflect the inner in ways you could never plan. You will find yourself in the right place at the right time. The perfect opportunity will land gently at your feet. Money will flow from expected and unexpected sources. The world will begin to reflect the certainty you carried in your heart before you closed your eyes. And you will smile, not in surprise but in remembrance. Because this is not the reward of effort, this is the result of being. You are rich because you finally believed it. You are free because you finally assumed it. You are powerful because you finally felt it real. So each night, return to this place, this quiet, sacred moment where the world cannot touch you, where no doubt can reach you. Say the words again: I am rich, I am abundance, I am the operant power. And then surrender. Sleep, not to escape the day, but to command the next one. Sleep, not in fear of the future, but in full expectation of its beauty. Sleep, knowing you have already claimed what is yours, and that life must obey. Sleep, knowing you have already claimed what is yours, and that life must obey. Because life is not random. It is not cruel. It is not withholding. It is responsive. It is governed by law. And the law is simple: what you assume, you become. What you feel to be true, manifests. What you declare before sleep, takes shape in time. And what you repeatedly occupy in imagination, you eventually walk through in reality. This is the eternal secret passed down from the mystics, the prophets, the enlightened ones, and now it is yours. Not to admire from a distance, but to embody. Not to fear, but to live. Not to wish for, but to awaken into. You are the center of your world. You are the speaker of the word. You are the life breather, the world builder, the light behind the eyes. So never again speak carelessly before sleep. Never again drift off rehearsing your problems. Never again let your final thoughts be of lack or limitation. That was the old you. That was unconscious creation. Now you create deliberately. Now you command with grace. Now you lie down not as a beggar, but as a king, as a queen, as a divine being who knows that the entire universe moves in response to your inner conviction. So let that conviction be rich. Let it be full. Let it be dripping with the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Let it vibrate with gratitude for what already is. As you lay in bed tonight, let the rhythm of your breath carry the silent truth deeper and deeper within. I am wealthy. I am worthy. I am complete. It is done. And sleep, not into darkness, but into creation. Sleep into the new world you've imagined. Sleep into the wealth you've already claimed. Sleep into the timeline where you are already living as the highest version of yourself. And when you wake, wake in wonder. Wake with knowing. Wake with the inner smile of the one who said it before sleep, and then watched it unfold. Because when you wake in this new state, the state you consciously chose before drifting into sleep, the world will begin to mirror back the wealth you carried within. It may not appear all at once, like lightning in the sky, but it will unfold gently, persistently, and inevitably. For creation is finished. What you now desire already exists. You are simply aligning your awareness to receive it. And the bridge of incidents, the chain of events that will carry you from where you are to where you wish to be, is already set in motion. People will call you lucky. They will wonder how things changed for you so quickly. They will ask what you did, but you'll know. You didn't chase, you didn't force, you didn't beg. You assumed the feeling of the wish fulfilled. You spoke your new reality into being, and you allowed sleep to crystallize it. All transformation begins with an intense burning desire to be transformed. And you, dear one, have chosen that transformation. You no longer fall asleep as the old self. You no longer dream the dreams of lack. You no longer speak as the one who hopes. You speak as the one who knows. You say, I am rich. I am abundant. I am aligned with infinite supply. And you say it not with desperation, but with calm, with peace, with power. Because you understand now that it is not the words alone, but the feeling behind them that matters. So tonight, as you lie down, bring to mind not a future hope, but a present reality. Picture your bank account overflowing. See your debts paid in full. Feel the thrill of freedom in your chest. Imagine the scent of your new home, the sound of the car door closing gently behind you, the warmth of the life you've always dreamed of, not as someday but as now. Breathe in that reality. Wrap it around you like a blanket. Let it soak into every cell of your being. And as you drift into sleep, let those last conscious thoughts be a sacred command. It is mine. I am it. I am it. And sleep in peace,
for the riches are already yours. And as you rest in this holy knowing, something remarkable begins to unfold, not outside but within. You are no longer the one who waits for signs. You are the sign. You are no longer asking, when will it come? You are declaring, it is here. You are no longer reacting to the world is now reacting to you. The riches of your life were never withheld. They were never lost. They were only waiting for you to accept them, to feel them, to claim them with unwavering faith and inner certainty. And now you do. You are not wishing anymore. You are dwelling in the state where it is already so, dwelling in the state of answered prayer, dwelling in the mood of fulfillment, as if the whole world has conspired to reward your faith, because in truth, it has. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and continue feeling that it is fulfilled, until that which you feel objectifies itself. You are not demanding it to come. You are surrendering into its inevitability. You are no longer the seeker. You are the one who has found. So speak it gently, just before sleep, not with force, not with strain, but with devotion. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am rich beyond measure. Let those words fall like gold into the subconscious, which never sleeps and never forgets. Let them imprint on the invisible screen of your inner world, for the outer world must project them back with precision. Tonight, you walk through the gates of your own kingdom. Tonight, you remember who you are. Not a body hoping for luck, but a soul with dominion. A creator endowed with the power to command wealth, to shape destiny, to rewrite the script from within. When the morning comes, and it will come, it shall rise with new opportunities, new ideas, new channels of abundance. Not because you tried to make them happen, but because you became the version of yourself who already lives in that flow. This is not superstition. This is not blind optimism. This is law. The law of assumption. The law of consciousness. The law that governs all manifestation. And once you grasp it, truly grasp it, there is nothing you cannot be, do, or have. Let the final thought tonight be this sacred truth. I have imagined it, I have assumed it, I have received it. And with that, fall asleep in wealth, wake in wealth, and live in the unbroken rhythm of miracles. So tonight, not tomorrow, not someday, but tonight, choose to speak the words that align you with wealth. Not words of need, but words of knowing. Not words of hope, but words of certainty. For the universe does not respond to desperation. It responds to conviction. As Neville Goddard taught, the world is a mirror, faithfully reflecting the assumptions we dare to hold as true. Let this be the night you stop chasing riches, and instead embody them. Speak before sleep, as if all is done, and then surrender to that sacred silence, where all creation begins. Say, I am wealthy, I am abundant, I am rich now, and feel the truth of it settle deep within. Because when you wake, not just in body but in awareness, the world will rise to greet the new version of you, the one who no longer waits to be rich, but finally remembers that you always were.
My dear friends, I invite you now to step into a deeper understanding of who you truly are, to abandon the illusions of limitation and lack, and to discover a simple truth so profound and yet so overlooked that in just 11 seconds a day, you can attract anything you desire. Yes, only 11 seconds. Now, I am not speaking of a technique that requires struggle, effort, or some drawn-out ritual. I am speaking of a conscious, focused moment of feeling, a single inhalation of belief, a pause in your day where the infinite reality within you is acknowledged, honored, and activated. What you are about to hear is not based on theory, but on law. The law of assumption, the law that governs your every manifestation, whether you are aware of it or not. And the beauty of this law is that it does not demand hours of meditation, nor the perfection of some spiritual routine. It asks only that you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, even if only for 11 seconds. The number is not magic in itself. It is symbolic. It represents something brief, something that the busy mind can grasp without resistance. But what happens within those 11 seconds, my friends, is nothing short of miraculous. It is a moment where you allow your imagination, your divine faculty, to override what your senses report, and to take command of your reality. You are not your circumstances. You are not your past. You are not even your current bank account, or health diagnosis, or relationship status. You are imagination, and all that you see around you is but the outpicturing of what you have imagined and assumed to be true. This is the secret that the world forgets. Imagination creates reality. Not just one day, not just in dreams, but always. And the moment you persist in the assumption that something is true, even if the world tells you it is not, the world must conform. For your inner world governs your outer one. You may say, but Neville, how can just 11 seconds of assumption create a lifetime of wealth, or love, or healing? And I tell you, it is not the length of time that matters, it is the intensity of your feeling and the purity of your focus. A single moment of true belief can override years of doubt. Imagine now, if you will, the thing you most desire. Do not push it away into the future. Bring it close. Let it live in your mind as though it were already yours. You do not need to beg, to hope, or to plead. Simply become the version of yourself who already has it. Close your eyes, breathe, and in this short span of 11 seconds, say to yourself, it is done. Say it not with desperation, but with conviction. It is done. And feel it. Feel the inner relief, the joy, the gratitude. See the scene, hear the sounds, feel the texture of the fulfilled desire. Let this moment be real, not because it is visible to the eye, but because it is undeniable to the heart. This, my friends, is the art of living in the end. Do not confuse imagination with idle daydreaming. Daydreams are fleeting, scattered, undirected. But imagination, when wielded with intention, is the divine creative force itself. All things were first imagined. Every building, every invention, every relationship, every movement of wealth, first imagined, then assumed, then made visible. And so I ask you, will you give 11 seconds a day to that power, to the creative force that breathes worlds into existence? Some of you may still be caught in the old patterns, the habit of reacting to what you see, rather than creating what you wish. But I tell you, you do not need to fix the outer world. You only need to align your inner state. And once that is done, the world will reflect you like a mirror. So many live as victims of circumstance, saying, I'll be happy when I have more money, or I'll feel loved when I find someone who loves me, or I'll believe I'm healed when the doctor tells me so. But the law of assumption says, you must first feel as though it is already so, and then it will be. When you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you are no longer asking for something to happen. You are declaring that it already has. You are moving from hope to knowing, from wishing to being. Let me give you an example. A man who is poor in the eyes of the world does not become rich by worrying about money. He becomes rich the moment he inwardly accepts that he already is. The moment he walks as though wealth were his, speaks as though abundance flows through him, and feels the freedom that only financial ease can bring. That feeling, when held with faith and focus, alters everything. The doors open, the ideas come, the people arrive, the opportunities align. And so I say to you, use your 11 seconds wisely. Each day, choose a moment, perhaps upon waking, or just before sleep, and bring your attention to your desire, not as something you long for, but as something you already possess. Let it be a natural scene, something simple yet vivid. If it is love you desire, imagine your partner's hand in yours. If it is wealth, imagine yourself paying a bill with ease and gratitude. If it is health, feel yourself stretching, dancing, laughing, strong and vibrant, and then release it. Do not cling. Do not check the mirror of the world for signs. Just know, it is done. The world in its time will catch up to what you have accepted in imagination, and it will always do so. That is law. You are not here to struggle. You are not here to chase. You are here to create, and creation begins in consciousness. Nothing exists outside of your awareness. Everything that appears out there is but an echo of what you have believed to be true in here. I have seen miracles happen from a single moment of assumption. A woman barren for years conceived a child after simply imagining the sound of a baby laughing in her home. A man deep in debt imagined opening a letter that read paid in full, and within weeks money came in unexpected ways and cleared what he owed. These are not accidents. These are the outcomes of belief made manifest. The law of assumption is precise. It is not biased, not emotional, not based on good or bad behavior. It responds to your inner state,
to what you assume to be true. And that is why a short, focused moment each day is more powerful than hours of worry or years of trying. You must stop identifying with the version of yourself that lacks. That version is only a memory, a habit of thought. You can, in this very moment, become someone new by simply feeling as that new self would feel. And if you persist, even briefly, but daily, that version must become your reality. Do not let the world shake your faith. Let your imagination be the truth, and let the facts rearrange themselves accordingly. Speak to yourself as the one who already has. Walk as the one who already is. Feel as though it is already done, and your world will mirror it back to you with astonishing fidelity. People will say, "But I imagined it, and nothing happened." To that I say, did you feel it real, or did you merely entertain the thought while still clinging to doubt? The law does not respond to words alone. It responds to the belief behind the words. The feeling is the secret. So make those 11 seconds count. Do not treat them as a ritual, but as a sacred act, a union with the divine within. That brief moment, when you feel as if your desire is already fulfilled, is the seed from which entire realities grow. And I promise you this. If you will give just 11 seconds a day to this practice, with sincerity, focus and feeling, your life will begin to change. Subtly at first, then swiftly. The people around you may not understand what has shifted, but you will know. You will know that you have turned within, claimed your birthright, and assumed your desire into being. So let today be the day you begin. Close your eyes, take a breath, and for 11 seconds, feel it done. Not because you hope it will be, but because you know it already is. And as you do this, daily and faithfully, you will no longer seek proof, for your life will become the proof. You will no longer ask whether it works, for you will be living in the answer. You will no longer chase, for all things will be added unto you. You are the operant power. There is no power outside of you. No person, no condition, no circumstance can stand against the assumptions you persist in. And if you will give yourself fully, even for 11 seconds, to the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you will discover the truth I have lived and taught, that imagination is the only reality. So I leave you with this simple yet powerful instruction: feel it real, for just 11 seconds a day, and watch how the universe bends to meet your assumption. For it is not the world that creates your belief, it is your belief that creates your world. And all you need is 11 seconds, because in those 11 seconds, you are not doing, you are being. You are not seeking, you are receiving. You are not wishing, you are knowing. And it is this knowing, this confident inner conviction, that unlocks the storehouses of heaven, and pours into your life all that you could ever desire. You do not need to beg the universe. You are not some separate creature hoping for a favor. You are one with the Creator, and imagination is your divine inheritance. It is through imagination that God became man, and it is through imagination that man remembers he is God. The world outside may scream otherwise. It may present you with bills, heartbreak, rejection, setbacks. But remember this, all of that is old news. It is simply the outpicturing of your former thoughts, assumptions, and beliefs. Do not react to the echo. Do not try to fix the shadow. Instead, return to your center, and assume again. Assume with power. Assume with authority. Assume for 11 seconds that your desire is already yours, and you will set into motion forces far beyond the understanding of the logical mind. The world will rearrange itself to reflect your new assumption, and it will do so in ways so natural, you will hardly believe it was not always meant to be. For what you accept as true within, the world must mirror without. This is law, immutable, infallible, unbreakable. So I urge you, no matter where you find yourself today, no matter what your current circumstances whisper, choose this moment to remember. Choose this moment to awaken. Choose this moment to declare, I am already the person I desire to be. For your I am is the beginning and the end of all creation. The moment you say, I am rich, and feel it, you have planted the seed of wealth. The moment you say, I am loved and feel cherished, you have become love itself. The moment you say, I am healed, and feel the freedom of wholeness, the healing has already begun. Though the manifestation may seem delayed to the eye, it is already complete in the unseen. You are simply walking through the bridge of incidents that will carry you to its visible fulfillment. So hold your assumption with gentleness, not tension. Let it be natural, not forced. Do not look for signs. Do not measure progress. Simply know. It is done. In 11 seconds, you can rewrite your story. In 11 seconds, you can claim a new identity. In 11 seconds, you can set your future in motion. All it takes is belief, not in some external force, but in your own wonderful human imagination. That is God within you. That is the creative power that formed the stars, that carved the oceans, that birthed every miracle known and unknown, and it lives in you. So the question, my friends, is not can you attract anything you desire. The question is, will you allow yourself to believe you already have it? Will you, for just 11 seconds, silence the doubt, quiet the noise, and feel yourself to be the person you wish to be? Because if you can, and you persist, nothing will be denied you. The world is clay, and your imagination is the hand that shapes it. You are not waiting for life to happen to you. You are the one happening to life. So as you leave here today, remember this truth. Only 11 seconds a day, not a lifetime, not a struggle, just a moment of certainty, a breath of faith, a second of knowing. And the rest, my dear friends, the rest will follow. The rest will follow because it must. That which you have assumed to be true, when felt fully and persistently, compels reality to take form around it, just as a seed contains within it the full image of the tree. Your 11-second assumption contains the fullness of your future. You do not need to understand how it will happen. That is not your concern. Your only task is to assume, boldly, joyfully, and without contradiction.
For every time you return to that sacred feeling of the wish fulfilled, you are watering the seed. You are nurturing the invisible into the visible. And the world, though it may seem unchanged at first, is already beginning to bend and shape itself to match your new identity. People, opportunities, chance encounters, unexpected shifts, all are drawn to the vibration you are emanating in those precious moments of assumption. This is why I say to you, do not underestimate the power of a single second. In 1 second of pure imagination, you can change the entire trajectory of your life. You can rewrite your past, transform your present, and define your future. For the moment you feel as if your desire is already yours, you create a new cause. And every cause has its inevitable effect. But let this be clear. It is not repetition alone that makes this work. It is repetition with belief, with acceptance, with surrender. You must feel the truth of your desire, not merely speak it. You must become the person who already has what they want, not just wish for it. In this 11-second practice, you are collapsing time. You are collapsing the illusion of distance between you and what you seek. There is no future to wait for. There is only now. And in this now, you have the power to become. This is why I say, make this a daily appointment with your higher self. Make it as natural as breathing. As you wake, before the world floods in, give yourself 11 seconds. As you lay in bed, before drifting into sleep, give yourself 11 seconds. And in those seconds, do not beg, do not wonder. Simply know. Know what it feels like to have already received. As you practice this, day by day, something extraordinary will begin to happen. Your inner conversations will change. Your reactions to life will shift. The circumstances that once bound you will begin to dissolve. Because you are no longer reacting to the world, you are creating it. You are stepping into the highest truth of all, that you are the cause of your life, not the effect. You are the author of your experience. You are the power that brings things into being. Once you accept this truth, not just with your intellect, but with your entire being, you will never again look outside yourself for permission to dream, to have, or to be. You will no longer ask, when will it come? For you will understand that it is already here, now in the invisible, waiting for your acceptance to usher it into form. This is the great mystery the world has forgotten, that all of creation is finished. Every possibility exists. Every version of you already lives in the realm of imagination, and you are the selector, the chooser, the decider of which version you bring into this visible world. With just 11 seconds a day, you align yourself with that higher version, not by force, but by feeling. What a glorious feeling it is. Those few seconds become holy, not because of superstition, but because they are moments where you remember your divinity. You are no longer lost in fear or confusion. You are centered in your I am, the name of God in you. You say, I am wealthy, and it is so. I am loved, and it is so. I am free, and it is so. Not because the world said so, but because you did. The outer world is but a servant to your inner assumptions. It cannot help but reflect what you persistently feel to be true. This is why even just 11 seconds, when filled with sincere conviction, are enough to cause the unseen to become seen. You see, it's not about convincing the world. It's about convincing yourself. Once that is done, the world has no choice but to mirror back your certainty. So I tell you, do not wait for the perfect moment. Do not wait for the stars to align. Begin now. In this very instant, you can choose to feel differently. You can choose to inhabit the version of yourself that already has all that your heart longs for. And if you will just return to that state, again and again, even for a breath's length each time, you will witness wonders unfold. For imagination is not passive, it is creative. It is the one power that reshapes your reality without effort, without strain. It is the voice of God within you, saying, "It is done." And you, as the imaginer, have only to agree. Not tomorrow, not later, now. And so when the world challenges you, when the facts seem to scream the opposite of your desire, you will no longer be shaken. You will smile and return inward. You will close your eyes, breathe deeply, and for 11 sacred seconds, you will dwell in the end. And in that stillness, you will feel the world bending, not to your force, but to your knowing. In that knowing, you are unshakable. You walk with a quiet confidence, not because of what is, but because of what is already true in the unseen. The world might call it delusion, but you know it is creation. They may say, be realistic, but you know that reality itself is shaped by assumption. What they call imagination, you know as law. What they call fantasy, you know as prophecy. For every great achievement, every love story, every triumph of health, wealth, or joy, it began in someone's imagination. Someone dared to see what was not yet visible. Someone dared to feel what others told them was impossible. And in that moment of daring belief, the invisible blueprint began to form in the matrix of life. You are no different. You are no less powerful. In fact, you are the same divine spark, walking in human form. You are the dreamer, the imaginer, the creator of worlds. And it takes only your focused agreement, just 11 seconds of embodied belief, to awaken this power each day. So do not make this complicated. Do not turn it into a task or a burden. This is not something you must master. It is something you must allow. It is not your effort that makes it work. It is your surrender. You simply surrender to the reality of your wish fulfilled, and dwell there for a few golden moments. That is all. You are not trying to make anything happen. You are not striving or pushing. You are simply stepping into the state where it has already happened. And in doing so, your inner world sends out a vibration so pure, so aligned, that the outer world cannot help but respond. It must, for it is bound by the law. What is this law? That which you accept as true in imagination, you will experience in the world. That which you feel, you attract. That which you assume, you become. This law does not sleep. It is always working, always responding, always creating from your dominant state of being. So take this power seriously, not with fear, but with reverence. Your thoughts are not idle. Your feelings are not meaningless. They are seeds, and your attention waters them. So why not choose to water only those that bring you joy? Why not take 11 seconds each day to water the tree of your highest self? If you do, you will begin to notice something extraordinary. Life will start to feel different, not because it has changed, but because you have. Your assumptions will quietly reorder everything. The people around you will respond to your new energy. The circumstances will shift. What once seemed hard will become effortless, and what once felt distant will now feel inevitable, because you have claimed it, not in the outer world first, but in the only place that truly matters, within. Within is where all creation begins. Within is where the seed of every miracle is planted. And when you assume the feeling of your desire fulfilled, even for just 11 seconds, you are watering that seed with the living waters of belief. You may not see the sprout immediately, but it is there, growing in the silence, unfolding beneath the surface. And soon, so very soon, it will break through into your visible world. You will hear someone speak the words you once imagined. You will receive the message, the call, the opportunity that reflects your inner knowing. You will walk into the scene you once visited in your mind. And when it happens, it will feel familiar. Not because you've seen it before, but because you have felt it before. It will not feel like magic. It will feel like truth.
That is how you will know you are the operant power. That you have never been a victim of fate, but a master of assumption. That life has always been listening, not to what you say, but to what you feel. So the next time you are tempted to react to the world, pause instead. Give yourself those 11 seconds. Go within. Enter the state of the wish fulfilled. Dwell there, not with tension, but with ease. Not with neediness, but with gratitude. And then return to your day, knowing it is already done. You need not force the manifestation. It will come drawn to your assumption like metal, to a magnet. You have only to live in the feeling. That is your only work. That is the only investment required of you. Not money, not years of effort, not pleasing the world or proving your worth. Only this, your belief, your stillness, your knowing. When you learn to do this, when you prioritize this short but potent practice, you will watch your reality transform again and again until you are no longer surprised by the miracles, but expectant of them. You will walk with the calm certainty of one who has remembered their true nature. For you are not separate from God. You are God, dreaming and choosing and creating through the vehicle of imagination. So do not waste another moment, waiting for something to change. Be the change now. Feel it now. Live the end, now. And the bridge of incidents will unfold beneath your feet. And all of it, every shift, every blessing, every transformation, can begin with just 11 seconds. Just 11 seconds of presence, of awareness, of full surrender to the reality you have claimed within. And in those 11 seconds, you are no longer the person who wants. You are the person who has. You are no longer the seeker. You are the one who has found. You are no longer asking the world to give. You are declaring, I already received. And that declaration, felt in the silence of your heart, becomes law. The universe, which is only a mirror to your inner state, echoes back, as you wish. No longer do you chase after outcomes. No longer do you beg or bargain with the unseen. You command by assumption. And the assumption is not arrogance. It is faith. The most humble and sacred kind of faith. Faith in your divinity. Faith in your creative power. Faith that what you feel in imagination is more real than what you see in the mirror. The beauty of it all is that the world will never resist your change. It has no power to resist. It is clay, malleable, neutral. It waits only for your instruction, and your instruction is given in feeling. Your world conforms to your dominant emotion, to your sustained inner conversation, not to the fleeting thoughts, not to the occasional wish, but to the emotional state you return to most. This is why I say, make those 11 seconds a home. Return there often. Dwell there lightly, joyfully, not as duty, but as delight. Do it because it is natural to imagine. Do it because it feels good. And when you no longer imagine to get something, but simply because it is who you are, you will find that everything begins to come to you. And it will come with ease, without struggle, without effort, without strain. You will look around and realize the people you once dreamed of meeting are now calling your name. The opportunities you once hoped for are now filling your calendar. The peace you once longed for is now the atmosphere in which you breathe, because you have shifted from waiting to being, from hoping to having, from asking to declaring, and all you did was feel it real. For just 11 seconds. For just 11 seconds, you return to your true identity. Not the identity given to you by the world. Not the name, the past, the roles, but the eternal truth of who you are. The I am, the imaginer, the cause. And when you feel from that place, even briefly, you are stepping into your rightful place, as master and not servant, as creator and not victim. In those sacred seconds, you do not seek signs. You do not question how. You simply become. And as you become, the outer world reorganizes itself around your inner conviction. The people shift. The timing aligns. The events unfold. All in response to the vibration you have dared to inhabit. What once looked impossible now becomes ordinary. What once felt far becomes familiar. And you will stand in the middle of your manifestation, with the quiet knowing that you brought it forth. Not by effort, but by assumption. Not by force, but by inner agreement. So don't be deceived by the noise of the senses. They are always one step behind. By the time you see it, it was already completed in the unseen. So why wait to feel good? Why postpone joy, abundance or love? Claim it now, for 11 seconds, and do it again tomorrow, and again the next day. And what begins as a short moment of imaginative faith becomes a state, a way of being that is unshakable, immovable, and magnetic.
You don't need to convince others. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. Your world is your mirror alone. And if you will simply shift The image you hold within, the mirror must reflect it. Not might, not maybe, must. This is your divine inheritance. This is the key the mystics whispered about. This is the secret the world has dressed in complexity and sold back to you as a struggle, but it is not a struggle. It is grace, and it is already yours. So I say again, take the 11 seconds. Give yourself that moment. Rest in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Do it with joy. Do it with expectancy. Do it with the certainty of one who knows that reality bends to belief. And one day, sooner than you think, you will look around and see that everything you once imagined has taken root in your life. You will smile. Not because you are surprised, but because you knew it would come. You knew the law. You lived the law. And now you are reaping its perfect fruit. In that moment, you will realize it was never about getting more. It was always about remembering who you are. The manifestations are wonderful. Yes. The money, the health, the love, the freedom, they are beautiful expressions of the state you've chosen to dwell in. But they are not the prize. You are the prize. Your awareness, your consciousness, your ability to assume and feel and know, that is the gold. You came here not to beg life for crumbs, but to awaken to your power, to remember that you and your reality are not separate things, that life is not happening to you. It is flowing through you, shaped and directed by your every assumption. So what will you assume today? Will you choose the old stories of lack and delay? Or will you give yourself the gift of those 11 seconds, the most powerful seconds of your day, and step into the version of yourself who already has it all? No one can do this for you. No one can feel your wish fulfilled but you. But that is the glory of it. You don't need anyone else's permission. You don't need conditions to change first. All you need is to dare, just for a moment, to feel the reality of your desire as if it were already yours. And from that moment, the world changes. People appear to help you, though they won't know why. Opportunities present themselves, though they seem accidental. Synchronicities multiply, and you begin to see life as a great tapestry that has always been conspiring to confirm your assumption. You'll begin to trust not in circumstances, but in self, not in external proof, but in internal knowing. And that knowing becomes your peace, your power, your unshakable center. And then you'll no longer wonder if it works. You'll know because you are the proof. You'll walk as the living testimony of the law in motion. You'll become the person others look to and say, "What's your secret?" And you'll smile gently, knowing that the secret was never really a secret at all. It was always you. It was always within, and it always began with just 11 seconds. Yet in those few seconds, eternity unfolds. The illusion of limitation dissolves, and you stand in the full awareness of your creative power. You no longer need to chase anything. You no longer need to strive. You simply become, and by becoming, all that you desire comes to you. What once required effort now flows naturally. What once seemed distant now arrives with ease. You do not force life. You harmonize with it. You don't push against the current. You command it by stillness, by knowing, by the power of assumed identity. What is identity but your most dominant assumption? Who you believe yourself to be over and over again is who you become. Not because the world tells you so, but because your inner world imprints itself onto the fabric of reality. There is no separation. As within, so without. So if you wish to change your world, you must change the assumption you return to daily. And what better way to do that than through these short yet potent windows of creation, these sacred 11 seconds of full embodiment. When you feel the truth of your wish fulfilled, even for those brief moments, something inside you shifts. The old version begins to fade. The doubts grow quiet. The fear loses its grip. Why? Because truth is being felt. Not intellectual truth, but spiritual truth. Felt truth, lived truth, and this truth becomes your anchor. Even when the senses try to contradict you, even when the world throws up shadows of the old self, you remain calm. because you know that all of that is just fading residue, echoes of assumptions that no longer live within you. You've chosen anew. You've created a new cause, and the effect must follow. Not might, not maybe, must. So remain faithful, not rigid, but faithful. Let your 11 seconds be a joyful remembering, not a chore. Let it be play. Let it be peace. And most of all, let it be natural. For the more naturally you dwell in the state of your fulfilled desire, the more effortlessly it will express itself in your world. You are not here to try. You are here to know, to feel, to accept. And when you truly accept something within, when you feel it so clearly that you no longer seek it, you have already received it. The world will only catch up. When the world catches up, it will do so in ways that seem astonishing to the logical mind, yet perfectly natural to the soul that assumed its truth long before it appeared. You'll find yourself in conversations that echo your inner dialogue. You'll walk into places that match the scenes you played in your imagination. You'll receive exactly what you need when you need it. Not as a miracle to be questioned, but as the natural outflow of your state of being. You see, my friends, when you assume something fully, you cease to need it. And in that very surrender, it flows to you. Because assumption is not about clinging, it's about embodiment. It's about stepping into the identity of the one who already has, already is, already knows. You may not yet see it with your eyes, but you've already received it in consciousness. And consciousness is the only true substance of the universe. What you hold there, what you nourish and revisit, even for a breath, even for 11 seconds, must become flesh. It must take form. It is law. What a gentle, beautiful law it is. It does not judge. It does not rush. It simply reflects. It reflects you, not your wishes, not your words, but your inner convictions. So speak gently to yourself. Feel kindly toward your desires. Treat them not as strangers, but as guests already seated at your table. And as you do, the outer world will reflect that welcome. You will find that you do not need to control the outer. You only need to master the inner. And mastery does not require effort, it requires awareness. It requires the willingness to pause, to feel, to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and let it saturate your being. Let that state become familiar. Let it become home. So familiar, in fact, that when it shows up in physical form, you feel no shock, only recognition. Because you've been living with it already. You've felt it, you've tasted it, you've known it. And in that knowing, everything changes. Everything changes, not because the world has suddenly become kinder or luck has turned in your favor, but because you have changed. You have shifted your dwelling place from lack to fulfillment, from hoping to knowing, from separation to unity. And that inner shift, however subtle, is the axis upon which your entire world begins to turn. No longer will you beg life to grant your wishes. You will realize that life has always said yes to what you've truly believed. Not the fleeting hopes, not the passing thoughts, but the feelings you've dared to dwell in. Those feelings were the prayers, and your world was the answer. So now you take up your creative power with reverence, with calm, with clarity. You no longer chase, because you already have. You no longer search, because you already are. You simply rest in the assumption, and that assumption becomes your identity, and that identity becomes your experience. And it all begins with the willingness to turn within, not for hours, not for days, but for moments, for seconds, for the 11 sacred seconds that reconnect you to the truth that everything you seek is already within you, the truth that the world is not happening to you, it is responding to you, the truth that your imagination is not fiction, but the very substance of reality, the truth that the feeling of the wish fulfilled is the one and only creative act. And the more you honor this truth, quietly, privately, faithfully, the more your life becomes a mirror of heaven, a place where what you feel is real, and what you know within is confirmed without, not by force, not by striving, but by law. The law that never fails, never falters, and never forgets. The law that simply says, as you have assumed, so shall it be done unto you. As you let this truth sink deeper, you begin to feel a stillness unlike any other, a peace that doesn't depend on what happens next, because you know it's already done. You know it is finished. And from that knowing, a subtle joy rises. It is not loud or frantic. It is quiet and steady. The kind of joy that only those who have touched the eternal can ever truly feel.
This joy is not based on possession, but on alignment. It is the joy of being one with your desire, not wanting it, not chasing it, but being it. That is the gift of these 11 seconds, a daily return to your throne, a reminder of your creative authority, a doorway into the state where all things are possible and all things are yours. Let this become your sacred ritual. At any hour, in any place, pause, breathe, feel, know. Imagine not as an act of desperation, but as an act of creation. Assume the feeling of your desire as though it were already so. Let it wrap around your being like the warmest light. Let it fill your breath, your thoughts, your very cells, and then release it. You need not cling to the feeling. You have planted the seed. Trust the soil of consciousness to do its work. Your only task now is to remain faithful to the knowing that it is already done. When doubts arise, do not fight them. Smile gently and return to your inner scene. Return to that short, powerful moment of assumption. 11 seconds of belief carry more power than years of effort rooted in fear, because belief is the true builder of worlds. And you, dear listener, are the architect. You are the architect. And imagination is your tool, precise, obedient, unfailing. Every time you dare to imagine differently, you are reshaping the structure of your reality. Every time you return to the inner state where your desire is already fulfilled, you are rewriting the script of your life. And though the world may not change in that exact moment, it is already rearranging itself in silence, moving in perfect rhythm with your new assumption. You may not hear the footsteps of change, but they are coming. You may not yet see the signs, but they are forming. Beneath the surface of what seems unchanging, an entire universe is responding to your command. Not because you forced it, not because you deserved it through struggle, but because you believed. And belief, pure, steady and quiet, is the most powerful force on earth. This is why I tell you, you need not beg. You need not strive. You need only assume. For 11 seconds a day, enter the feeling of your wish fulfilled with sincerity. Let it be real to you. Let it consume you. Let it feel like home. Then go about your day, not as one who waits, but as one who knows. Because when you know, you are no longer asking. You are simply receiving. The delay no longer matters. The how no longer haunts you. Because you've already become it in consciousness. And once it lives in your consciousness, the world has no choice but to mirror it. The law cannot be broken. It does not fail the one who truly assumes. It simply reflects what you are. And you, dear soul, are always free to be anything you dare to assume yourself to be. This, your entire reality, is waiting on you. Not your effort, not your struggle, not your desperation, but your assumption. In just 11 seconds a day, you can awaken the sleeping power within and command the universe in silence. That sacred moment, when you close your eyes and feel your desire as real, is the moment you claim your divine inheritance. You are not here to chase. You are here to choose. You are not here to wait. You are here to assume. Walk in the state of the wish fulfilled. Return to it again and again until it becomes second nature. Let your imagination be the place you live, and your world will follow. With every breath, every step, every silent affirmation, you are shaping the life that reflects the truth of who you are. The operant power, the divine creator, the dreamer who dreams and then awakens within the dream to find it was always real. Just 11 seconds, daily, faithfully, feelingly. That's all it takes. Assume wisely, for you are creating always. And remember, as Neville said, dare to believe in the reality of your assumption and watch the world play its part perfectly. It is already yours. Now feel it, and so it is.
Before you set your mind on manifesting winning the lottery, there is something profound you must understand. Something that goes far beyond the simple desire for money, beyond the mere act of hoping to find fortune by chance. If you rush into this with a restless heart and a mind filled with doubt, your wish will not come to pass. The secret to manifestation, especially something as grand as winning the lottery, lies not in the numbers or the lottery ticket itself, but in your inner world, in the sacred chamber of your imagination. You see, the outer world is but a reflection of your inner state. Everything you experience, every event, circumstance, and condition, first lived within the invisible realm of your mind. This is the fundamental truth. The lottery is not won by random chance. but by the law of assumption. By living in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you must first imagine and feel yourself as the one who has already won. This is the key that unlocks the door to all miracles. Many come to manifestation teachings with a thirst for quick results, but this thirst is often born of disbelief. They say, if I could just win the lottery, then I would be happy, then I would be free. But hear this. Your happiness is not contingent on winning the lottery. It is the foundation upon which your winning rests. If you wait for the lottery win to bring you happiness, you have placed the cart before the horse. First be happy. First live as if you are already the fortunate one. Taught us that assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. It is not enough to say, I want to win the lottery. That is the desire. But it is not the feeling. Your feeling must be that of the winner. Imagine now, you have the ticket in your hand. You hear the numbers called, and they match yours exactly. You feel the rush of joy, the overwhelming sense of triumph and gratitude. See yourself paying your bills, helping those you love, living your dreams. Feel this as vividly as if it were happening now. This is the sacred practice you must do before you even buy a ticket. But there is more. You must not waver. The moment doubt enters, the manifestation begins to fade. Doubt is the enemy of faith. Faith is the bridge between the unseen and the seen. You are not manifesting by chance, but by faith, by a conviction that your wish is already true in the unseen realm. Hold this faith without trembling. Trust the creative power of your consciousness, for it is God within you. Many believe that manifestation is about wishing or hoping, but Neville reminds us that wishing and hoping are expressions of want, a consciousness still waiting for fulfillment. Manifestation is not about waiting. It is about living in the end, in the state of the fulfilled desire. When you act, speak, and feel as the winner already, the universe will align to bring you the outer reality that corresponds. Do not concern yourself with the how or the when. These belong to the realm of the outer senses, which only see lack and limitation. Instead, immerse yourself in the what it feels like to be the winner. Create the inner movie of your success. Night and morning, before sleep and upon waking, replay the scene of your winning. This repetition engraves the truth into your subconscious, which works tirelessly to materialize it. There is a common mistake to avoid. Do not entertain the thought that the lottery win is the only solution to your problems. This thought breeds desperation and resistance. The lottery win is a manifestation of abundance. Yes, but abundance itself is a state of mind. It is the realization that you are infinitely capable, that you are worthy of all good things. When you embody this state, you will attract not just money but every blessing you desire. Watch yourself carefully. Your inner conversation is your creative tool. If you say, I hope I win, you are speaking from a place of lack. If you say, I cannot afford this, or it's too unlikely, you are reinforcing the very conditions you wish to change. Change your dialogue. Say, I am the fortunate one. I am the lucky one. Everything I touch turns to gold. Speak with conviction. Feel the power of these words. Remember, your imagination is God's creative power within you. It shapes your destiny. Like a potter with clay, you mold your future with the images you hold in your mind. If you hold images of scarcity, you will sculpt scarcity. If you hold images of wealth and triumph, you will sculpt wealth. The lottery is but one form of wealth, one reflection of your abundance consciousness. You might ask, is it wrong to want to win the lottery? Should I want something so external? This is an important question. There is no sin in desire. Desire is the spark of creation. But your desire must be pure and free from fear, desperation, and lack. When your desire is rooted in joy and gratitude, it becomes a powerful magnet. The universe responds not to desperation, but to joy. Before you try to manifest winning the lottery, cultivate gratitude for what you already have. Gratitude raises your vibration, aligning you with the flow of abundance. A grateful heart is an open heart. It is ready to receive. Count your blessings. Feel thankful for the air you breathe, the love you share, the opportunities that come your way. This gratitude will prepare you to receive the grand blessing of your lottery win. Do not rush. The universe unfolds in perfect timing. Sometimes what you think you want is a doorway to something greater. Be patient, be still, and trust. Manifestation is an act of faith, an act of knowing that what you desire is already yours, that it exists in the invisible realm, and will soon appear in the visible. Often said, live in the end. Live as if your wish is fulfilled. If you want to win the lottery, then live now as the winner. What would your life look like? How would you speak? How would you feel? Step fully into that reality. Dwell there. Make it your permanent state of being. Avoid the temptation to look for evidence in the outside world. The absence of visible proof does not mean your desire is unrealized. Your task is to maintain the feeling of the wish fulfilled, no matter what the senses say. This is the great secret. The senses are your adversaries. They always reflect the current state of things, but you are the creator of the future. Hold your vision and feeling steady, and the world will change to match it. If you fail to manifest immediately, do not despair. This is a test of your faith. Persistence is key. Keep imagining, keep feeling, keep believing. The seed you plant in your imagination needs time to grow. Water it daily with your faith and your feelings. The harvest will come in its perfect season. When you finally receive your lottery win, do not let it change who you are at your core. Use it wisely. Use it with love, and continue to live in the state of gratitude and abundance. Remember, money is but a tool. Your true wealth lies in your consciousness. So before you try to manifest winning the lottery, first understand who you truly are. You are not a victim of chance, but a creator of reality. The power lies within you, in your imagination, your faith, and your feeling. Use this power wisely, and you will see miracles unfold. Your imagination is God within you. Use it to create the life you desire. Starting now, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Live as if you have already won. The lottery win is not in the numbers, but in the reality you create within. Watch this. Remember this. And then proceed with faith. Your victory awaits you, not in the future, but now in the invisible realm where all things begin. Manifest wisely, manifest faithfully, and watch the lottery win appear before your very eyes. You must also understand that the act of manifesting the lottery win is not about the external ticket or the physical slip of paper. The ticket is merely the vehicle through which your inner reality expresses itself. The true manifestation occurs first within your consciousness. It is your mental and emotional state that creates the conditions for that ticket to become the key to your dream. Think about this carefully. Before the lottery numbers are drawn, your mind has already drawn the picture of your victory. This inner drawing is the original. The physical numbers are but the copy. Your imagination is the creative agent. It is the invisible artist, painting your future in vivid colors and shapes. The outer world waits patiently to reveal what you have imagined within. Some ask, how do I know if I am imagining correctly? How can I be sure I am living in the state of the wish fulfilled? The answer lies in the feeling. Feeling is the language of creation. When you imagine, feel the reality as if it is happening now. Feel the joy, the relief, the excitement, the peace. If the feeling is weak or doubtful, it signals that your imagination is clouded by disbelief. You must cultivate a deep, unwavering feeling that you have already won. This feeling must be so real that it permeates your entire being. When you walk down the street, when you sit at your desk, when you talk to friends, this feeling remains with you. A quiet certainty, an inner knowing that your wish is fulfilled. This inner certainty is a state of consciousness. It is a place where your desire no longer battles with opposing thoughts. It is a harmony between your conscious mind and subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind accepts only what you impress upon it with feeling. It does not discriminate between real or imagined. It simply manifests what it believes to be true. Therefore, if you carry the feeling of being a lottery winner consistently, your subconscious mind accepts this as your new reality and begins to arrange circumstances to bring this into your physical world. Your external life must conform to your internal state. This is an immutable law. Some fear that imagining themselves as already wealthy,
might make them arrogant or disconnected from reality. But this fear is baseless. To imagine the fulfilled wish is not to brag or boast, but to align yourself with the infinite creative power within you. It is a humble acknowledgement of your divine right to abundance. Spoke often about the power of revision, the practice of revising past events in your imagination, to alter their meaning and change their impact on your present life. You can use the same technique to dissolve any doubts or fears that arise. If you catch yourself doubting the lottery win, revise the scene in your mind to one where you remain calm, confident, and believing. Replace thoughts of lack with thoughts of plenty. Another point to consider is your state before sleep. Neville taught that the moment before you drift into sleep is the most powerful moment to impress your subconscious mind. At this time, your critical conscious mind relaxes, and your imagination becomes vivid and active. Use this time wisely. Before you sleep, imagine yourself holding the winning ticket, hearing the numbers, feeling the excitement, and living the reality of your win. Repeat this mental scene until it becomes a natural part of your dream state. This will deepen the impression on your subconscious, hastening the manifestation. Be aware also of the company you keep and the stories you allow into your mind. If you surround yourself with negativity, scarcity thinking, or people who doubt your dreams, your own belief may falter. Protect your inner vision fiercely. Guard it as you would a precious treasure. It is also vital to understand that manifesting the lottery is not about luck or fate. The law of assumption makes luck unnecessary. Luck is simply the recognition of a prepared mind. When your consciousness is aligned with your desire, you become a magnet for the circumstances and opportunities that make your win inevitable. You may wonder about the resistance you face in life, the bills, the setbacks, the moments of despair. These are but temporary illusions. They do not reflect your true being or your creative power. They are shadows cast by the senses. Stand firm in your imagination, in your inner reality. Know that these outer conditions will give way before your steady assumption. Manifestation is an art. It requires practice, patience, and persistence. It requires you to become an artist of your own reality, painting each day with the colors of your desire fulfilled. You may also wish to script your scene, writing down the story of your lottery win in detail. Write as if it is a letter to yourself from the future, describing how it feels to have won, what you do with the money, how your life has changed. Writing solidifies the feeling and gives it form. Remember that the universe always responds to your dominant feeling and assumption. If you find yourself slipping into doubt, return immediately to your scene. Repeat your mental movie with feeling. The consistency of your assumption is more important than any single act. When you maintain this feeling, you will find yourself moving with greater confidence, attracting opportunities that confirm your belief. Doors will open, synchronicities will occur. You will meet people who support your vision. All these signs are proof that your inner world is taking form. This process transforms you, not just your circumstances. You become someone who lives in faith and expectancy, who commands reality with imagination. This transformation is the true prize of manifestation. Keep your heart open to the unexpected ways the lottery win may arrive. It may come as a gift, a sudden opportunity, or through a series of fortunate events. Do not limit the universe by your ideas of how it should appear. Be flexible and grateful for every sign of progress. Above all, love yourself and your vision. Love is the highest vibration. When your desire is rooted in love, love for yourself, for life, and for the good that is to come, your manifestation is unstoppable. Do not rush the manifestation, and do not despair if it seems delayed. Time is a creation of the senses. Your new reality already exists in the invisible realm. Trust that it is coming to you in perfect timing. Stay in the feeling of the fulfilled wish throughout your day. Speak as if you are the winner. Think as if you already have the fortune. Act as if your life is already changed. When you master this art, winning the lottery becomes not a matter of chance, but a natural consequence of your inner state. The lottery is simply a reflection of your consciousness. Take this message deeply into your heart. Before you manifest winning the lottery, master the art of living be the embodiment of your wish fulfilled, and the outer world will follow. As you continue this practice, Be mindful of the subtle shifts within you. Notice how your energy changes when you dwell in the feeling of fulfillment versus when you allow doubt or impatience to creep in. Your body, your emotions, your very presence will begin to reflect this new state of being. This inner transformation is not only the foundation of your manifestation but its proof. Understand too that the imagination works through sensory experience. The more vividly you involve your senses in your inner scene, the stronger the impression on your subconscious mind. Hear the announcer's voice clearly calling your winning numbers. See the faces of those around you celebrating with you. Feel the texture of the ticket between your fingers. The weight of it as your proof. Smell the fresh air on that victorious day. Taste the sweetness of your favorite celebratory drink. These details enliven your assumption, making it real. Do not forget that the subconscious mind is indifferent to time. When you impress it with the feeling of the fulfilled wish, it creates that reality as though it already exists. It does not matter whether your manifestation appears tomorrow, next week, or next month. Your only concern is to persist in the feeling until the evidence in the outer world aligns. This brings us to the critical notion of faith without reservation. Faith is the refusal to be moved by the appearance of the senses. It is the deep knowing that what you have imagined is true, despite what the world seems to say. When you hold this faith, you place yourself above circumstance, and you become the master of your reality. You may experience moments when the old world attempts to pull you back. News of someone else winning, the countless stories of unluckiness, your own habitual thinking patterns. Recognize these as tests, not as signs of failure. Each time you resist the pull and return to your inner vision, you strengthen your faith and your power. Be patient with yourself during this process. It is natural for the mind to wander, for fears to arise. Simply acknowledge them and gently guide yourself back to the feeling of the wish fulfilled. This practice, repeated faithfully, rewires your consciousness toward your desired outcome. There is also great power in silence and solitude. Give yourself moments each day to be alone with your imagination, free from distraction. These sacred moments are when your creative power is strongest. Here you may cultivate the image of your lottery win with deep feeling and clarity. Do not underestimate the potency of repetition. The subconscious mind learns through repetition. Each time you return to the scene, you deepen the impression. This is the magic of persistence. Like the gardener who waters the seed daily, you nourish your desire with continual feeling. Avoid looking outward for signs too frequently. The physical world is slow to catch up. Instead, let your inner reality be your anchor. Live as if the win is already yours. Move through your day with that confidence, that peace. You may find joy in imagining not only the win itself but also how your life changes afterward. Picture yourself helping others, creating security for your family, giving generously. These feelings of generosity and abundance amplify your manifestation, for they align you with the universal flow of giving and receiving. Keep in mind that your imagination is a sacred gift, a divine tool given to you to create your world. Use it with reverence and care. When you imagine winning the lottery, imagine it in the highest and best way for you. This alignment with your true self ensures that what manifests is not only financially abundant but spiritually fulfilling. Watch for the subtle signs of your manifestation appearing. An unexpected call, a small gift, a chance encounter. These are the universe's whispers, confirming that your inner work is bearing fruit. Celebrate these signs with gratitude, and use them as fuel to continue your imaginative work. It is essential to release attachment to the outcome. Attachment breeds resistance. Hold your desire lightly, with faith but without desperation. This balance is the dance of manifestation, a sacred interplay of desire and surrender. As you practice this art, you begin to live beyond limitation. You realize that winning the lottery is a symbol, a step on the path toward greater freedom and creative expression. Your imagination expands, and with it your world. Every day, remind yourself that you are the artist of your life. Your assumptions shape your reality. Your imagination is the seedbed from which all blessings grow. By living in the feeling of your fulfilled wish, you command the forces of the unseen to bring forth your desire. Do not wait for external validation or proof. Your inner certainty is the foundation upon which the outer world must build. Trust this process with unwavering confidence. Your power is immense. The universe waits only for your word. Your feeling, your assumption. Give it freely and watch how reality bends and shifts to your desire. Keep your heart and mind open. The way to your lottery win may be unexpected and even miraculous. Be receptive to miracles, for they are the language of manifestation. In time you will know the joy of seeing your imagination take form. You will hold your winning ticket and realize that it was never about chance, but about the certainty you carried within. As you stand now on the threshold of your manifestation journey, remember this: your winning ticket was never outside of you. It has always been forged in the depths of your imagination, in the unwavering feeling that you already possess what you desire. The universe does not respond to your wants or wishes. It responds to the state of your consciousness. So embody the feeling of victory. Walk in the reality of your fulfilled wish, and refuse to be swayed by appearances. When you live as though your lottery win is already yours, you align yourself with the infinite creative power within you, an unstoppable force that moves mountains, parts seas, and bends reality itself. Trust in this power. Remain steadfast in your assumption, and watch as your world transforms to match the grandeur of your inner vision. This is not merely a promise. It is a law. Manifest boldly, for you are the creator of your destiny, and your empire of abundance awaits.